We're reaching out to inventor clients, having them come showcase what they're working on here on our stage. Here we go. Ronnie Collis, welcome to the program.
Hey, again, JD, I'll tell you a couple things. Number one, as I sat there quietly, kind of wanted to talk during how you talk about from your podcast to being an attorney, and you still just look like the most normal dude ever, which I think
Yes.
people don't understand. Inventors are normal, and so are attorneys. I went to law school at Florida State. I don't practice patent law at all. I don't practice any law, but it's funny to hear someone with your, I guess, composure to be an attorney to make it normal, where somebody that listens that has an idea could find somebody that can help them say, oh, did I really just come up with that 8-track, or did that really already exist? That piece. And we all live there, but we all have ideas that we don't know that it solves a problem. As a patent attorney, I know that's what you guys look for. Does it solve a problem? Did somebody else already do it? Is there a different way to do it? It's more efficient. And I think with my patent, it took the advice of a patent attorney, and there weren't necessarily podcasts around or someone that friendly says, hey, I don't care who your attorney is, but if you have an idea, I want to talk about it. So I just want to give you those kudos right up front that I think, quite honestly, from the process to even be able to have this conversation with you, you guys are you and Matt are on the right page in regards to people have ideas, but they don't know what to do with them.
You and I are on the right page already. We got the Nike swoosh. I don't know if we're supposed to be marketing trademarks or not. Matt will probably
I think
let's talk about what you invented. Ronnie, okay, what is your invention? Let's talk about that.
So very quickly, I don't know if any of my guys are on the phone or you see them in your lobby yet, but it'd be Mike or Derek Locker, my wife.
I wasn't sure. Let's bring Mike on. I wasn't sure if he was another inventor. Mike, good to see you. Sorry for keeping you backstage.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Hey, Mike, hey, I didn't embarrass you yet, right?
Yet's the key word there, Ronnie. Yet's the key word. No, we're doing good.
You're gonna listen, JD. You're gonna like Mike, and I know that you guys are live, but let me tell you, I've been on his live podcast, and he would tell you I accidentally said the F word, but sometimes I get off business and talk about myself. So let my business partner tell you about our invention.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, Ronnie, this is your baby. But anyway, long story short, guys, I'm out in Vegas right now representing SafeSeal, Ronnie's company, the inventor of the first ever globally patented pizza box system that is tamper resistant.
It's called a container, not a pizza box. It's a container.
Okay, we'll call it a container.
Well, legal.
So
yeah,
anyway,
but it's a pizza box.
But anyway, so yeah, we're down at the world's largest pizza expo down in Las Vegas, and needless to say, we've already had. Ronnie, you don't even know probably half the stuff yet. We haven't been able to update you, but we've been working with Ireland, Spain, Chile, Turkey, all these different locations around the world that have a problem with pizza snipers.
And they're like where the people actually got started, right? I mean, we're just borrowing it, right? They invented it, didn't they?
Yeah, listen, you're so right with that. Can I tell you this? He'll tell you the stats on when a pizza box, when there really was a patent in 1964. I think Domino's held that one. But in reality, we just figured out, and again, pre-COVID, and again, systems means there's other devices besides the pizza box. That's the easiest to market. So Mike will talk to you about that convention. But in reality, it's how can you get something safe to your house? That's all we were trying to do. And there was no COVID at the time.
Would you mind giving me the website address so I can plug that in here real quick?
Yeah,
Mike,
it's SafeSeal-systems.com. SafeSeal-systems.com. So, obviously we're a startup. Like this was our debut this week. So Ronnie and our entire team have been working on this for about 2 years, getting it to where it's at today. So nobody has seen this outside of the pizzerias that have tested the product, our own product testing, the manufacturer. And so needless to say, the show has been off the charts. I mean, it's been really overwhelming. We kind of feel like, I don't know, my analogy last night at dinner with the team was like, we're coming up with a new pharmaceutical challenging
like Pfizer the Tylenol. It's like the Tylenol thing, JD. But JD, if you go to that video, if you pull that back down, you were sharing screen, and you play that video, a couple things you'll see, even at their booth, because he has pictures. Mike can provide all pictures of the booth at this Pizza Expo. In reality, my daughter, who is an attorney, but my wife, who's there, obviously partners with Mike and myself, is there, but it's funny. You'll see the video, and it's so simple. All we did was take a pizza box and make it where somebody couldn't sneeze on it. That, if you want to know the truth, you
There we
couldn't steal
go.
my pepperoni, and you can't sneeze. So the ownership custody is now from the pizzeria to how it's delivered, but it could be with any other device. But pizza is what we're focusing on right now.
So right there, that's the pizza box design.
So
You've got packaging, right? Or a
Yes,
more
Mike,
example.
can you
yeah,
see what he's
yeah,
looking at?
yeah, I can see it. Yep, absolutely. So guys, one of the biggest things that we've been learning down here, which we've known about, but if you Google pizza delivery driver ate my pizza, you're gonna see videos from Ring cameras, elevator cameras. Like it's a real problem. You could even find it. You can search on TikTok. There's a club of delivery drivers that actually are proud of stealing other people's food
Oh, that's nasty.
when they're doing
Oh,
delivery.
there's one.
So down here, what's really popular, and I had never heard this term, but they call it the delivery slice. Okay, so pizza owners, pizzerias are so familiar with that because they get the phone calls from the customer going, you know what, I ordered a large, but my pizza doesn't look like it's a large. And what they would do is they would slice part of the pizza, okay, and then they'd shrink it together as if that's the pizza. Nobody would even know that it's
Mike.
missing.
Hey,
It's
Mike,
crazy.
not to interrupt it, JD. When you pulled up our thing, the funniest thing ever, because I get all the videos because we're aware of all that. You don't believe it happens. You don't want to know I stole my own daughter's French fries, but I did, right? So you don't want to know that. There's a pizza guy. So if you looked at our website, that first truck that you see is a guy, and he has that downtown New York City pizza box delivery thing on the back. Inside that, there's a camera. So I'm not going to advertise for anybody, but for other people to make the cameras, and I sell IT. But that films 24 hours a day, so they can go back and say bicycle, and it can pull up bicycle. This guy every day, Mike has the video, takes the pizza out of the back of that box, takes a pizza slicer, slices 6 slices, and then squeezes the pizza back together. It's caught on video, not one day in a row, hundreds of days in a row. And that's
Yeah.
why the camera caught it as something of a different, not nature driven. So a guy delivering a pizza box, he rides by on his bicycle. He gets out, he cuts it, he eats it, and he delivers it. So just like Mike said,
So,
he squeezes the pizza
so
back together.
Yeah, so and another part that we've learned too, like from the gentleman from Chile, right? He rolls about 6 to 7 million pizza boxes a year, and one of his biggest complaints is theft, right? In Chile, the delivery drivers actually they apply for those jobs to feed themselves. It's like a lifestyle, right? So he figures he loses about 20 grand a month in errors and omissions, right? He gets the complaints. He's got to send another pizza out to him. There's all these different little nuances that come into play here. But another part, I just want to give an example too of a pizzeria owner that was talking about. He got a complaint just last week out of the Bronx in New York, is that someone ordered a supreme pizza, and when he got it, he said it was damn near a pepperoni pizza. They just nip off the top of the pizza.
Hey,
So
we all get hungry. We all get hungry.
we all get hungry, right?
Okay.
But
Okay. So
you don't know.
right. So one thing I think what you're describing is a really cool example of this journey of making the marketing and the sales work. In your case, you've got to really paint that problem, right? In a way, you've got to be able to showcase that problem that exists now. Are you seeing that as part of your marketing efforts? Is putting that up front?
100%. I mean, the main part of the marketing, like when we're down here at the show, is we're making people aware of the problem,
Yep.
right? So we're kind of the approach is like a fear factor campaign, right?
Sure.
So let's say a big vision, maybe it happens, maybe it won't, it might be too soon, but let's take the 2025, the Super Bowl, right? Our Super Bowl commercial, picture a scenario of a delivery driver in their car going out partying with their buddies the night before, someone pukes in the back seat, and then the next day in the afternoon he's the delivery driver, your pizza's sitting in the back seat where all these people were, and then he kind of wipes his eyebrow or whatever and nips in on the pizza, goes and delivers it to you. You'll never know what happened, right? But we've got that fear factor trapped in there.
Okay. So that might make me stop ordering altogether.
Correct.
You look like you're hungry.
Isn't it like a B2B play though? Are you also working that in?
Well, there's this business side, and then there's the marketing side, right? So
Yes.
as the inventor of the product, we'll say, our market's a distributor. We're looking for distributors who work with the mom and pop pizzerias. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, we're interested in finding additional manufacturing resources. we can't make a pizza box if we don't have someone that can manufacture and produce it cost effectively.
Which means the distributor can't sell it and the mom and pop pizzeria can't have it. We want
Yep.
everyone to have it.
Now, okay, I got to
Right.
ask this
Yep.
because it's a burning question. Have you tried or thought about approaching the big guys, the Pizza Huts, the Domino's, that type of
We will. So they have their contracts wrapped up with their distributors, right? They're doing so much volume. I mean, they basically own the paper mills. So what's going to happen is that's going to be our job to make the consumer demand that Domino's, Little Caesars, the big four, if you will, have this type of pizza box, because in time, maybe it's 2 years, 3 years from now, the pizza box, it's gonna change. If you go back to 1982, you Google like the Tylenol scare, the murders, right? A guy penetrated the Tylenol bottles and people died. It changed packaging forever as we know it. We're doing the same thing in the pizza box industry. We are going to change the pizza box. It hasn't changed in 35 plus years.
right?
And now it's
1967, the year I was born. Just FYI,
now,
I'm 57 years old.
now it's time to level up, right? This is the
That's
new
cool.
wave, the next era
Hey,
pizza box.
and Mike, not to interrupt you, and JD, we know it's your podcast. Mike has one. You're an attorney. I'm surrounded my whole life by attorneys. I went to law school. Mike can tell you the stories. I would not make a good attorney. I'm really good at talking. Cut my tongue out. I should work at Taco Bell. That's
Hey,
it. That's all I can do.
that's why Ronnie's not here.
Yeah. I'm not at the Pizza
We
Box
would've never-
convention.
we would've-
Listen, ready? I'm not at the convention because Mike, who's my business partner, and my wife, who's my business partner, would tell you I would get trapped at the little squirrel somewhere at the end of the convention and couldn't help it. So I know this is about you and about attracting people to JD's website, but this is a true story, and it's a story of my dad said on his dying bed, he ordered double pepperoni so it wasn't impeded with. My dad's an attorney. My dad didn't want the pizza box driver to know that would happen. He didn't want his children to know, or his wife, because he was kind of a germaphobe, by the way, way pre-COVID. My dad died before COVID. So I'm just telling you, this wasn't a fix a problem because of COVID. This is a problem that has existed forever. And Mike would tell you, I'm passionate about it, and I'll overtalk. I also know for you, this is about your podcast, and you want people to come find people like you and Mike to help say, I have an idea and I want to make it work. So I don't want to take away from what your podcast is about and not make it my commercial. So no, dude, I saw your thumbs up, but I know who you are already. I know exactly what you are. And I think that you're the attorney that gets it, and people should understand, like my partner. And again, she's no stranger to the Shark Tanks. I'm going to tell you that. So when you play your Shark Tank episode, I've been telling him how great you do on the Shark Tank episodes because he'll want to listen to it. So the Lowe's of the world and the Home Depots of the world, this is a very different animal. We're now looking for the retailer, but we have to sell the manufacturer and the distributor on our product and our concept. Right. So that the end user wants it. So I'm still begging for the end user, but I have to have people that will supply to the end user. Correct, Mike? He's going to say how I've grown. Hey, listen, he's getting ready to tell you, wow, you've grown up over the last 2 years.
Matt, I want to let you open up. Do you have any questions that were on your mind while they were talking, Matt?
No, I think just really quickly, I'll describe the box to the listeners at home, right? So it looks like a pizza box, but when you receive a package from Amazon, it's got like a strip that you pull basically to open the box. It's got like a adhesive strip to it, right? Then the little pull tab.
We like to call it the FedEx box of pizza.
It's a FedEx box of pizza, right?
Facts. It's yours.
So when you close it, at the pizza shop, and you pull that and you put that adhesive on it, it seals it, right? And the only way to get it open is to pull the strip. So it's
quick
cool.
question again. Mike's going to say mute me. Let me turn the interview the other way before you take your questions from other people. But I know Mike knows every part of the business side, manufacturing side, and all of that. Let me ask this. Someone came to you with this, JD, this idea. I'm Ronnie Collis. My dad talked about pizza boxes. I want to change the way it's delivered. COVID didn't exist. It does exist. So now we care more about things. That's great news. What would you say to someone that had this concept? I know what Mike's done and his brother has done. I know what, again, patent attorneys, you guys have a specific job to protect me from someone can make it like this. But what would you tell an inventor that had the concept?
Absolutely. This is our process. We start with number one, patent research. So honestly, take a look. As an inventor, you got to go do your own diligence. Have you seen anything like this before? If you've come upon this, you've worked in this industry for a while, this is the first time you've ever seen it, Go look and see if it's true for your own self. And once you convince yourself this is the first of its kind, then go work with an attorney, have them do research to confirm that. Take a really serious look before you leave. This is one of my mantras, right? Can you share for us, and you've been on this journey with Ronnie all along, what would you say is to an inventor that is thinking about moving forward, some major lessons learned over the 2 years of even acquiring the patent or looking back now that you're trying to sell? What would you impart? What kind of wisdom would you want to share?
Well, so we've been in the space for 30 years and we always want to advise to do the research, right? Today is easier than it's ever been with Google search. You can search Amazon, Walmart.com. Like there's all these, you could just do a simple search of a product idea. And if there's something out there and you want to make it different, you can make it different, right? But we always advise to speak with a patent attorney, complete a patent search before you get too deep in spending a lot of money. We've worked with inventors over the years that have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in prototyping and CAD work and all that design work, only to find out that there's someone else out in the field from 12 years ago that maybe never launched their product, but they still have the proprietary protection. So I would advise, number one is to do your due diligence, deep dive on the due diligence. Number two, make sure you're solving a problem. If you're just doing something just for the sake of doing it, maybe you just have a ton of money and you're looking for, your kid to work. That's one thing. But if you're really into a product and you're going to go both feet in, you got to do the due diligence and be prepared to spend some money. It's not cheap.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that. That's a huge kudos, right, to the patent system and wanting to get something protected.
Right.
You have done
Absolutely.
that.
Well, and even I do want to touch on Matt too, from a trademark perspective too. That's another part of that process. When you go through the naming process of a product and you're branding, you're doing taglines or any of that, that's like all part of that phase of all your proprietary protection. That's really important. When you're doing a product and you're going to sell on Amazon and you're going to be fulfilled FBA seller on Amazon, you want to be gated, right? You have to have a trademark to be able to be gated on Amazon, which gives you a lot of extra access to be successful on Amazon. So there's all these things in there. All I can really say is if you're going to invent a product or whatever, number one, you got to go for it. If you believe in it, don't leave it in the closet. You got to go for it. Otherwise, you're going to be kicking the can forever. And you're going to be like, oh, I thought of that 5 years ago, right? That's very common. I just think you got to go for it. And you got to talk to people like you guys to start out of the gate to make sure that it's going to be worth the time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. And thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate you guys